Good evening.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Three
74.
Marketeers show. This is the episode 74, and we have Christopher joining us tonight. And we're going to have a very interesting topic, which is we're going to talk about business consultation. But nonetheless, for everyone who's watching this, whether you're watching this live or the replay, remember this is where we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. We've been doing this for 70 over weeks already. And if you're interested to look at, just to learn any specific topics about digital marketing or marketing at large, or even just entrepreneurship, you can go back to our playlist, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, to actually check through all these previous episodes that we have had. Every episode, is technically packed with a lot of key learnings and insights from every guests that we have brought into the, the discussion. And tonight we have Christopher. Christopher, just now when we were at the backstage discussing, Christopher is a man with many hats. Okay, so this is really where we will have a lot of, very interesting discussion at the backstage. But tonight, Christopher is going to be here discussing about business consulting. But before we go into that, right now, our fourth marketer has been disappearing for a while, right? That's why I want to pop this guy
What
back.
is this, man?
Where the hell have you been, man? Come on. So yeah, you're back. He said he's back. Awesome. Okay, now welcome back. Okay, now Christopher is Manfred's guest. So we will actually let Manfred do the honor, actually to do the brief introduction about Christopher. Manfred, yeah.
Okay, guys, Christopher is my trainer in one of my recent programs that I took. I learned a lot of things from him. He's very knowledgeable and very entertaining. And above all, I think he has a lot of track record to share. Very high increase in year-on-year revenue that he's previously shared before in overhauling some of the marketing strategy, and high approval for some of the projects that he's done in terms of marketing strategy and branding in areas that I'm also not very familiar, like ERP, fleet management, and some equipments like I think constructions and logistics industry. So I think let Christopher take over from here. Chris?
Chris,
Hi.
Don't
good evening,
ever use
everyone.
Manfred for your testimonial videos, man. He doesn't sound enthusiastic at all, man.
It's like furrow eyebrows
you
throughout.
you
the
gotta
entire
like
introduction,
charge him with some battery charger or something. It's like low.
I think I see his message on WhatsApp. Where's my under table money?
Yeah. No,
where's my
he haven't buy me
appearance
coffee yet, man. Haven't buy me coffee yet.
No wonder. Okay, Chris, over to you, my friend.
Hi guys, my name is Christopher Tan. I'm for the purpose of this call, I'm wearing my business consultant hat, and basically I head the Enso Consultancy. I'm the principal consultant there. That's also my business, and basically we've been helping businesses, SMEs in Singapore with various projects based on my background and knowledge. And for those SME owners that are interested to know, and they always lead with the grant discussion. Generally, our projects they take to apply for grants gets 100. So far, we have had 100% approval of grant support, and we cover areas in brand and marketing strategy, ERP software implementation, fleet management solutions, and very specialist equipment in the for automation in the construction and logistics industry. Wow. What is common amongst the second half of all those projects is basically process re-engineering and process automation, which is where my strengths are when I was still in corporate. And then branding and marketing, because I also have a few e-commerce businesses that are still going on and thriving.
Wow. So what are the things that you don't do, man? You almost covered the entire chain and flow already.
I don't cook.
Okay. So F&B business is out lah.
F&B is so difficult in Singapore.
Oh, is it?
Is it? Why so?
Every last dish is your latest QC.
Then
it means it's a daily operation.
Right.
So what if we considered, a friend and I considered buying over a restaurant before, and I'm fortunate to have friends that are already owning F&B businesses. So they shared, what if your chef goes down? You need a backup chef. And then what if your backup chef goes down? That'll be probably you. And we wanted to buy a northeastern Chinese Dongbei restaurant, Sichuan food restaurant that we like to eat, but we have no idea. I don't cook, right? So we had no idea for that. So that from wanting to invest, he shared with me, and we learned a lot from there.
Yeah. Suicidal, by the way, F&B in Singapore.
That's right. Yeah. Another partner is also also invested into his friend that started a very atas malt sim restaurant in Singapore. But the good thing is they are Michelin starred already. Pain in the ass, very difficult to. It's more of a passion project. It's profitable, but it's a real passion project. So I wouldn't touch F&B in Singapore.
And I'll say
there you
also
go.
F&B, I mean, just my 2 cents. I mean, I probably have understand and help some F&B businesses. I think it's also very difficult to scale.
Yeah.
Almost impossible, because in order to serve more dishes, and in order to actually grow the business, you need more people, and in turn you need more customers. It's also a very difficult situation.
So it's a
unless
single
you-
slide rule, right? On one end is very delicious food, one man show, or the chef is the owner. At the other end is McDonald's,
Right.
where it's acceptable, but but it has to be more consistent than about being delicious.
Correct.
So then,
Yeah.
the investment needed to scale there. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
That's a very good kickstart
Nice.
of the discussion.
There you go.
And guys, remember, if you have any questions tonight, Christopher is wearing his business consultant hat. That's why we started with this discussion, whether what business works well and what business doesn't. Basically, this is if you have some challenge about your own business and you need some insights from the guy who have, I don't know how many businesses. I lost count. Like he has lay his hand on.
Probably take us a couple of lifetime in order to.
I don't know,
measure
man.
it out.
Seriously, though. So that kind of experience is where you can actually tap on and get something out of it. But before we dive deep into the first questions, remember, if you have any questions, you may pop in the chat, whether it's on Facebook chat or Facebook comment on the video itself, or on YouTube. Just do it right away, and we'll be able to bring them up. But in case you watch up
LinkedIn.
now and you like what the style, Christopher's style, and you like to find out how you can work with him, especially if you are in Singapore running a business and you're looking to kind of like get some like grants and some ideas about how to navigate in this field, you can connect with Christopher on LinkedIn. I already popped the link, or you can actually go over and search for Christopher Tan. I believe that's how it works as well. So, you guys ready? We're going to pop the first question, which is
Let's
the
go.
most important question of all, which is, what the hell is business consultation? I mean, that's my term, but Manfred's terminology is like, what is the definition of business consultation?
I'm trying to sound atas lah.
I mean, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
So I got the official definition and the my definition.
Oh, okay.
So the official definition is an expert of a part of your business, be it management, consultancy, HR, marketing, or even operational. If you're F&B, this could be an expert chef, business owner. He's done what you've done before, and he can come in to help you with that aspect of it. And my definition is basically someone that you can hire to help fix your short-term. Basically, a business consultant is someone that you cannot hire. Either you cannot hire him, he doesn't want to work for your business, or you can't afford him, but you know that he can help your business. So that is my definition.
That's different from mentor, isn't it? Is it almost like
Different from mentor and coach.
The helping can come in various ways. It can come in to literally do the work temporarily until they can hand off. It can be to train your staff then usually the second part is to train the staff to take over.
Right.
And at the highest level would be then just coaching, whereby they have such deep insight on understanding of your business already. You don't need people to execute. You have people to execute. You just don't know what to execute. Then and how to think of your business. Then there will be regular scheduled meetings to discuss, chat, and they'll tell you what's the right direction.
Can I safely say that, in fact, you mentioned just now, you may need a business consultant for different reasons. Like if you need somebody to come in and fix the operation, then they are business consultant in that area. If you need marketing business consultant, that's that. Is that so?
That's right.
So in a way, sorry, please go on.
Well, in my limited experience in Singapore, most SME owners are very good operations manager. They're very good at executing to fulfill the service or product. But that also means that they are so focused on operational because maybe they can't find someone else, or they can't remove themselves, extricate themselves from the process, then they're focused on operational. And it's happened to me before. When you're focused on operational, it's very difficult for you. Basically, you're working in the business, but you should be
Okay.
working on the business.
Right.
So then, some of them are happy there because there's no need to grow it really further, like double or triple the size. But sometimes they may hit across some problems, some areas they're not very good at. Like maybe, how can they automate some of the processes with software, or what is the software to use? Or in the case of marketing, you don't really need to have a marketing consultant level person to be working in your company on a long-term basis. You just need them to come, fix your brand, get your marketing strategy right, then either hand off to a team externally or to train your internal team to be able to execute the strategy that they have come up with. So they just, come in for a short term, understand your situation, help your guys, and then they can skedaddle.
Most of the time to fix immediate problems.
This is basically a kind similar to like so-called Mr. Fix-It kind of thing, right?
Within
need
their
a
areas
challenge.
of expertise.
Within the area
Yeah.
of expertise, okay.
So can I safely say that it's almost impossible to have a business consultant that can help you fix everything in the business?
No,
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
no
good
way.
business
So
consultant.
That's
hire
mentor
from
already,
BCG.
right? If somebody can, but that's advisory mentor.
Ironically, if they can
yeah.
fix everything, then you would not want to hire them because you'll be afraid because they're your competitor.
Yeah, quite true. Yeah.
That's
so
normally
in
the.
So in a way, a business may have multiple business consultants at the same time.
Looks like it.
Yes.
Yeah, in
Some
case
of the
it-
larger businesses do have that.
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
So we come in only for our own areas. We don't know everything else. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what else is going on. We just focus on our area, and at the same time, they can hire other people in parallel to help. It has happened. Generally, for larger companies, 8-figure revenue per annum, they do that. And for the companies that are open to hiring consultants to help them, I do notice that they grow phenomenally faster.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very
Putting
true.
the right people, the right role, or either the right people, the right processes. Sounds pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
and they are aware of the challenges. I think this is one of
Oh,
an angle to look at it. A lot of businesses may not be aware about the problems that they are facing.
Usually for the SMEs in Singapore, they are aware in terms of the symptoms. They may not be clear on what is exactly causing the problems, or if they do know, they don't know how to go about fixing it. Sometimes, in rare cases, they know, but they know they're not the right person. In the case of multi-generational businesses, the son cannot override the father, so they hire the consultant to be the talking piece. I haven't had I am not so fortunate to have done that kind of job because everything is laid out for you. You just need to be the person, right? So
Yeah.
far we had to earn our keep.
That's very true. That's very true. I mean, resonating to your comment just now, right? Chiwai mentioned that he's still working in the business instead of on. I mean, probably you need to hire Christopher over here, man. Bro,
Probably Chiwa is just
looking for that.
enjoying that, because
Yeah,
he has to make that call.
it could be. It could be. Seriously, like how Christopher puts it just now.
Yeah.
There could be businesses who are just like to be in that position, right?
Because you get to every day you go to office, you get to make the call, make the decision. See, sometimes it's kind of difficult to take yourself away from a business, especially if you build it from ground up. And it's always like the other guy can never do as good as that, So that's why generational business, the dad always overrides the kid because, hey, I built this, I know you will never be as good as me, but eventually I know I have to pass this business to you.
That's very
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
That's very true. So,
And first generation business owners and second generation business owners have very different background.
Yep.
So their approach and their method, how they run the business, how they view is very different as well.
right.
Great one, Chiwai, great one.
Nice. Now, Chiwai has a question, by the way. Chiwai asked, as a business consultant, are you specific to a particular industry only, or anything we'll do since the concept theory is the same? What do you think? I mean, it's similar to a question that we asked just now, but then again, what's your take on this one?
Well, the fundamental here is process re-engineer, as I mentioned earlier. So long as you have a business and then you are getting your guys to be doing something every day on a daily basis, that means there's a process, right? Then it's a process that can be re-engineered. So far, based on my experience, I came from the bank, but then I've helped the process re-engineering for manufacturing, logistics, e-commerce. So it's retail, I guess, So I think it is possible, but nonetheless, for the consultant themselves should be confident enough, and you should probe them further to be able to tell you what is the most related project they've done in the past for a past client. Then you'll be more assured of results. But for the branding and marketing one, it's very clear. If I don't understand your product, I can never do marketing for you. Even though the marketing strategy, the process actually is the same. All you guys know, all you guys are digital marketing experts, process is the same. However, what is being executed specifically is not the same. Content is really such a big difference already. So then, for marketing, you make sure the guy really knows your product. And in my case, generally, I will buy the product of my clients if I do marketing for.
Yeah, so that you can understand the process or so forth
That's
from fulfillment and delivery.
Buy and try the product. Buy and try the product or services.
If they allow, we try to be mystery shopper also. And then we try to understand the process so that we can see what the staff is presenting from the customer, what is customer experiencing. And if possible, we'd like to talk to their clients, their past clients, and survey them if possible also to get a clearer understanding. Because we want to answer the question, why is your customer buying your product or service?
Oh, that's important, yeah.
Which we have found a lot of business owners to have some difficulty answering.
Agreed.
Definitely. Thanks for the explanation, Christopher, and thanks GY for the question. But GY has a follow-up question. GY, you got excited today for what reason?
He's trying to make up for the 2 episodes.
You disappeared for 2 episodes. That's why you come back. But this is a good one. This is not a question.
Yeah.
This is
a statement.
He said he happened to know a friend who owns a car workshop. He really likes to be left alone, work on the project, take things apart. Okay. More on a passion instead of really focusing on the business also.
Yeah.
That's why he hires marketing manager and even others to fill in the spots. I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's a paying hobby. Well, at least it pays, so that's fine. Yes.
At least you are in a position where you
He's an
enjoy what you do.
Most SME owners are the subject matter expert and the most knowledgeable person in the business for this. So in his case, yes. And also because he's very good at it and he likes it, it also means that when he's working on a car, he's in what we call in the flow, mentally.
In the flow, yes.
Yeah. So he enjoys that, and it's actually semi-meditative. So I can understand why he does that. Believe it or not, I enjoy writing proposals for my consultancy, but
that's a very interesting hobby. That's a very interesting hobby.
Oh yeah, man. Writing proposals.
Yeah, man. Well, I stopped doing that seriously. I can't. That's not my thing. But for those who are good at
digital marketing copywriting for one. Just think about it that way.
That's very true. Thanks, GY, for the sharing.
Right.
Now, wow, that's a good one, guys. If you have any questions, remember to pop in the chat, whether in the comment, as in like whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, we will bring them up. But nonetheless, guys, if you watch up to now and you really like what Christopher is sharing and you want to connect with him, this is the link that you can connect with him on LinkedIn. And it's LinkedIn/Christopher Tan 1. Christopher Tan 1. That's where we go. Now let's follow up with the next.
If you guys are on LinkedIn, you can also basically put your comments in the section. I'm monitoring it. And
did we miss any? Is there anything over there?
So far, no. No.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. By the way, we are also broadcasting on LinkedIn right now. I'm not sure how's the experience there because we won't be able to open so many.
So far, so good. Seems to be streaming well. That's fine.
Okay. Cool. Now let's move to the next question. In fact, we're entering the second question, which is, I think this is quite interesting. Which is like, just now we talk about, what is business consultant, and we digress a little bit to talk about like, basically different topics that actually came along. But this one is quite. I think it's quite important, which is like
very wide. And this is like an Atlantic Ocean kind of question.
But what would be the most common one?
Yeah, most common.
Well, from my perspective, more business. How can I have more business? I have the challenge as well. Don't you have the challenge? We all have the challenge. Everyone wants more business.
More businesses. That's the first thing. Yeah, that's true.
So for branding and marketing side, for clients that need that help, they are generally wanting more business, or they felt that they have been threatened by new players that are giving customers a better impression than themselves.
Right. Why? Yes? A lot of people pushing for more business and not pushing for more profits or higher margins.
Yeah, I was going to get there. The other problem
Yeah.
they have is how to increase profitability. But generally, they don't like to talk about it because they like to keep it a secret.
I
So, but that's not necessarily the right way to do it because, I mean, there's only two ways, right? As a business owner, you get more business or you reduce cost. Then the space in between is your profit mark. So you should look at it both ways holistically, actually.
But more business doesn't mean that you would also require a lot of operational support in order to do that, right?
What is
Capacity.
very interesting is okay, a little bit on the grants. Why?
Okay.
I believe the Singapore government has actually consulted one of the big three consultancies. This is my guess. So when it comes to the enterprise development grant that Enterprise Singapore provides for SMEs in Singapore, there is a specific sequence. Actually, there's a list of categories. And if you look at it, you will realize actually it follows a certain sequence. Okay. First, you need a consultant that is in your industry to give you an overall high level picture of you telling them where you are and where you want to be. So to tell you these are the steps you need to take in between to get there. Okay. This is very high level. So then this is business strategy. Within that, right, the report, right, that they will give, right, the things that they suggest will actually fall into the other categories that the grant supports, which is in some business cases, their finances are not managed properly by their accounting team. So then they are parking things in the wrong place, and then their finances look worse than it is. You know. So then a CFO type of person comes in to fix it. So that's financial management. Next, you want to increase your business, right? Then you need your existing staff to be able to take on more business. But your existing staff is not able to, mainly because there are probably manual processes in place. But you cannot just drop in the ERP solution and say, nah, here you go, $2 more million. It doesn't work that way. What you need to do is actually with HR, you need to improve the learning and development, and also you need to retain good staff as well as to train existing staff to have them mentally be prepared for the digital transformation that's going to come. Then we move into process redesign and automation. These are two separate categories where you implement hardware software to automate some of the manual processes that are in place. I have come across companies that still run on pen and paper accounting. Okay. Yes, last year. So
Wow.
so when your people are ready to take on new systems, when you have the systems in place, they'll be more open to be trained, and then they will be able to operate the system along with the business. Thereby, it will increase productivity. So then it reduces your utilization of your resources. Meaning to say the existing staff that you have, they used to work overtime. Now they leave office early, but everything gets done. So if all your staff are leaving early or they have nothing to do, this means you can bring in more business. Then you go into branding strategy to find out how do you brand yourself to be better than your competitors when it comes to your customer segment that you want to target, right? Then you move on to marketing strategy on how you execute your marketing to mine and get these customers.
Right.
Then you get more business to come in. Singapore is a very small city state, right? Not a lot of people, not a very big economy. So it will reach a point where you realize you are taking so large a share of the market that you cannot grow any further. The ceiling is that Singapore is there. Then the next category that comes in will be for you to go overseas.
Right.
So then every step of the way that I've mentioned has grant support through EDG. And after studying these categories and reading the website, and also I think reading some stuff from Boston, from BCG, Boston Consulting Group, I think that is the strategy that they have. So you talk about what are the prevailing problems that they have. Every single category I've highlighted are the common problems, and it can be linked in sequence for them to take advantage of, from going from fixing your house internally to fixing getting your people ready for a new system, then getting more business for your business, and then finally moving overseas to go and get even more business.
Wow. That sounds like a very well planned strategy. It's like the government has planned everything. As long as you guys are really into growing your business, you have got all the support needed in a way.
Not so easy, to be honest.
Okay lah, you get Christopher to work, to help you to get that. That makes sense.
Okay, so far my consultancy 100% approval.
100% way. Where
And
to
we try
find?
to when they take our projects to try and apply for grant, and we try to keep it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a smart way, because basically, as long as you know there is a problem that you need to fix and you get support from the government to fix the problem, and then, basically you enjoy the benefit and the economic thrive. I think it's a win-win situation. I don't see any problem with that.
More people
Yes.
get employed. That's good.
Even if you don't know what's your problem, but you just cannot grow the business, but you know someone that can help you, then the very first category business strategy is exactly for that.
I see.
And you know who to look for already.
By the way,
Remember, Manfred recommend one.
Okay. So this is where we actually have to bring it in and say, okay, now this is where you connect with Christopher on LinkedIn for whatever that you want to discuss, especially if you are in running a business in Singapore. And now, as you heard Christopher mentioning all the so-called elements or so-called the areas that the government has granted to support you, you should take advantage of that. And by the way, Christopher's success rate for applying grant for his clients is what? How many percent?
100%.
Okay. It's 100%. Okay, so that's a strong reason that you have to get over there and talk to him. So I'm just gonna keep it here. So Christina actually popped out and said, very insightful. Thanks for joining, Christina. You guys know Christina? Anyone's friend? Oh, it's a new friend. Okay, thank
From
you so
YouTube,
much for joining.
right? Christina is from YouTube.
Christina
right?
is watching on YouTube.
Watching
Thanks
on
for
YouTube.
joining. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for joining. So, yep. I hope you guys are enjoying this thing. Basically, remember that's how it works, right? If you have any questions, pop in the comment. I'll do my best to monitor and bring it up as we can. And we do have planned questions for Christopher, about 45 of them. But then again, we probably will just go through about 3, 4. You're just gonna enter the third one.
Yes.
Let's bring it in. So, what are the components of business consulting services? I think this is quite interesting. I mean, we know that in a way, based on whatever you mentioned just now, starting from the business strategy, the finance, and the people development and marketing, and of course the overseas export kind of thing. These are the areas that businesses may need help. But when we are working with a business consultant, what are we actually getting? What are the components of a business consulting services?
If the consultant is a subject matter expert and is an actual expert in your industry, then it's quite fluid because he has clearly operated before. So then it's a matter of what you want out of him. Do you want him to run for you temporarily? Do you want him to be a temporary CMO, CTO, COO until you find a replacement, or you want him to be able to get your team to be ready, or you want him to actually come in and study to find the problem? So it's quite fluid in terms of what they can deliver because they are the expert in your industry. So then I would say the process would probably be more important here. And generally, same for my side, feel free to contact me. First chat is pro bono. If I can help you, I'll tell you I can help you. If I can't help you, I tell you I can't. So from there, it's really understanding what and to be able to feedback to you what my understanding of your problem is. If you realize, yes, you are right, spot on, and so on, then it's about understanding what help you need. Do you need me to come in to help you fix the problem? Do you need me to come in to tell you how to fix the problem? Do you want me to tell your team how to fix the problem? And on top of that, train them. All those is within the scope of work, within the proposal. So if you understand the problem, you're good, you want us to quote you, we'll go and list down the step-by-step of what we're going to do. And then that will be the proposal. And then from there, if you accept our proposal, then we start work.
So just to reframe this, I was looking through a question, so hopefully I don't just jump the gun on it. So I'm a business owner, and I sort of feel that there's some issues with, let's say, sales and maybe service delivery, but I'm not very sure. All right. So I would come to somebody like you because to actually do a so-called a run through of my business to determine is this true? It's like your doctor, I come here and say, I feel like there's an ache on a certain part of my body. I'm not sure what that is. So I will come to somebody like you, and you will give me a run through and says, okay, Andrew, based on all these things, you have an issue that you need to fix in sales, confirm. And service delivery, the symptom is so-called service delivery, but maybe that's not the case. Or maybe the way you create the product or the way you design your product has an issue. That's why there is a service delivery issue. Is that the way to approach?
Yes,
Okay.
but in terms of solutioning, there are two types. If your
Right.
business is more straightforward, like retail, then mystery shopper will do. You don't need a consultant. You just need friends to help you to pretend to be a customer that they don't know
Okay.
are actually mystery shoppers. Then
So
from
let's say they
there,
find out that maybe the front sales there's an issue, So what do they do next? Because they don't know.
because my business are on fire already. But okay, well, generally, when they do discover issues, right? Sometimes, actually, most of the time, the issues are not people. In a sense that it is the process that is not supporting the people well enough. So this is the second part. First part is mystery shopper.
Right.
So you know the external symptoms. And if it's simple enough a business, then the owner would know what to do. If it's more sophisticated and it's more complex, then generally you would want the consultant to come in to study internally, to study the data internally.
I see.
But if possible, we like to do it invisibly. That means we just have access to the reports and the data and not let the staff be aware. But if necessary, no choice, then we will come in and have a chat with them. Or rather to just observe. Sometimes experts, right? If I'm an expert already, actually, so far in my experience, just sitting there observing for half a day to a day, right, during the busy hours will be good enough already. Then from there, they can feedback and let the boss know.
Okay.
If
So
it's much larger companies, let's say 100 million and above, right? I don't have that experience there to do, but generally that will require a team to come down and basically data gather. Data gather, including interviewing and surveying and observing, and then compiling the data to provide a holistic picture of what's going on, and then give solution. So it's always data gathering from observing, from enumerated empirical data like reports, or from interviews with customers or the staff. Then from the data to come up with some strategy on to analyze and see what the problem is, and then strategy to solve the problem. Yeah.
Okay. I think that sounds like something that because just now you mentioned usually as a consultant you prefer to be invisible to the team, especially
Yeah.
to the employees, so that you are able to do your job a little bit better. Is that so? I mean,
Yes. When you observe a scientific experiment, it affects the scientific experiment, right?
Yeah.
So the best is to
So
be
you want to see
behind
how
the
they
scenes.
operate in their own natural environment
That's right.
without
That's right.
disturbing. Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
that's very interesting. Wow, that's at least now we know that being a business consultant is actually not that easy. And there are different steps that you should take in order to help at least unearth the challenges and give solution by supported with all these analytical or so-called observations at least, to support the whatever solution that you're trying to kind of like propose. That would bring us to the next question, which is like, I jump a little bit to the next
Yeah.
one, which is
We're
like,
going to jump all over the place today, huh?
yeah, I think all these kind of like connecting the dots already, because now we know that, okay, these are the components. Like you mentioned just now, a business consultant may come in a very fluid way that they can be taking the role immediately. I mean, temporarily, like the temporary CMO, or even to train the team, or even to give training, or even to observe or something like that. But when we talk about, let's say we want to choose whether a person is qualified or so-called is it good, or let's say somebody has been doing something for a while and he wants to explore being a business consultant. So in your opinion, what makes somebody or someone qualified to be a business consultant?
Oh, very simple. So long as there's someone out there willing to pay you for your time, and they know that they cannot normally hire you, then you are a consultant already, at a very ad hoc level. Meaning to say, basically, you are being recognized for being able to do something that they wish their business is also doing, and then they would like you to come in to help them, not as a staff, or at short, or not as a permanent staff.
I see.
Then pretty much that's consultation.
So in
That's
a
my
way,
view of it.
I actually agree with that, Christopher. But then again, probably we will come back to a different angle of looking at this into this, which is it's not about how do you qualify to be a consultant. It's about how do you market yourself to be a consultant. That's all.
So, for the past 5 years, every client coming has been by word of mouth. We've changed that since the start of this year. We're trying to do some lead generation,
Right.
Eat our dog food in terms of what we talk about marketing, right? It's been working actually. So before that, it's always been by word of mouth, because when someone recommends you and you've done good job for someone, then definitely the trust level is there. So then the sales cycle or the discussion will be more honest and genuine. So then it's less about, I don't trust you, why should I hire you, but more about, how can you help me? What have you done in the past before that can give me confidence that you can help me, So then that's why I say, so long as someone has approached you and asked you to help them for the short-term basis, means that there is some consultancy happening,
I see.
because it's not operational. Yeah, you're not hiring someone as a staff really.
I totally
Okay.
agree. Yep.
I got a question. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
it may sound obvious, but just want to clarify. Is there a difference between management consulting and business consulting? Or
Management consultant
and business-
officially, right? So management consultant officially is really on the management of businesses, your MBAs and your C-suite level. That is my understanding. And I'm an RMC, registered management consultant from IMCS. And we were taught that, after certain years of experience and case studies, you can apply to do the CMC track. CMC stands for Certified Management Consultant. So I would say, if you are CMC certified, then you are a proper management consultant, whereby you have sufficient experience in the management, in improving the management of a company or the operation of a company. Confusing, right?
Yeah, because that's what business consultants do, right? You got to basically fix, or is it one is
That is why I say, so long as if someone asks you to help them and he's not hiring you to be full-time staff, you're considered consultant already. So
So whether it's management or business, they are kind of like working on the business.
yeah, it can be. Basically, you can come in and basically represent the boss too.
So technically, they're interchangeable, depending on the context.
From my perspective, they are, because there is a proper CMC certification for management consultants that qualifies them with enough experience of companies, with enough companies, and probably large enough company sizes, right?
Okay.
So then, if you're not CMC certified, then my certification is called Registered Management Consultant. So it just means consultancy. The other two in the market is TUV, which is more for engineering, and PMC. So they're all management consultants, but at this level, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that once you have the certificate means that you can help any company to do what a proper management consultant does.
Right.
Which I'm still learning and trying to figure out.
I see. Okay.
I hope that clarifies.
I mean, it's a very good question. I think I think some people may, because these are all terminologies that flies around the market, and to be frank, some people may find it confusing.
Yeah.
That's why it's a good question that you brought up. Thanks, Andrew. So yeah, I hope you guys get a very good clarification on this too. In case I'm just gonna pop this a quick one. In case you guys are interested to connect with Christopher, this is the link to connect with him on LinkedIn, because essentially, as we have come to the second half of the session for today, he has shared a lot of useful insights, especially about fixing the problem of a business and achieving better growth and get more sales, and of course get the government to support you along the journey. So if you need help in terms of that area, and if you're running business in Singapore, you want to get in touch with Christopher. And I heard him saying the first session is pro bono. Right, so he's going to give you some idea whether you like it, then you will work with him. If not, I believe you'll walk away with useful insights. I think that's definitely something that you want to look into.
We
right?
can't help everyone, so
definitely.
Okay.
Now, since we talked about if somebody wants to get started, right? What qualifies him to be a consultant? Then I think we will lead us to the next question, which is like, now if I think that now I got somebody asking me, oh, can you help? And now I think I'm ready, but how should I start?
So specific to Singapore, let's say you have already some years of experience, of working already. In my case, when we started our e-commerce businesses, then our friends, business owners asked, hey, how you start? Can you help me in my e-commerce? Can you help me in my digital marketing? So there is the demand, right? Great. Then next step is certification. The certification, which we realized along the way, was actually once you're certified, then the projects that we help our friends, instead of doing pro bono or accepting their liters and liters of coffee, actually we can get paid for it and they get government grant support. So specific to Singapore, there is the certification process that will help with the funding of such projects, because SMEs run lean. They have enough cash flow for them to run, but they may not necessarily have a lot of savings and reserves to be able to do a lot of other things. So because of that, the government also realizes this, and generally the projects that they fund are riskier projects that an SME wouldn't necessarily want to do it themselves. The general mindset is, if everything is running fine right now, why would I want to rock the boat, shake my golden goose, and then it will stop laying eggs for me? Then what happens? So riskier projects, but that will potentially give much better returns in terms of productivity or potential business and all this kind. The government want to fund, but the government funds them through people to do the work, such as consultants. But then they have to get certification. The certification will be, as mentioned before, RMC from IMCS, TUV, and PMC.
PMC as in project management consultant, right?
I
Is that
believe
it?
so.
Right. Okay.
Okay, just a quick check. If you have your information, Christopher.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to get all this certification as to be certified, what will be the process like?
I can share the IMCS one since I went through that.
Yeah.
Essentially, you take a 3-day course in which they further expound on stakeholder management, project management, subject matter expertise, sharing, and after that you take an exam. I think the passing is 70%. So you got to pass the written exam, and then after that you also have to submit. This is probably the harder part. A list of your past projects that you did, not when you're an employee, when you are self-employed, and that comes up to 1,000 hours, as well as written testimonials from clients saying that they're happy with your work done.
1,000 hours.
Yeah, so kind of like you're already a consultant before you get a certification.
So in
so
a
you-
way, you need to start doing
The
this
practical
work
side
first
as well, besides
in order to get
yeah.
You
certified.
got to be practicing already. That's
I
why
see.
That's why I keep saying, what makes you? How do you define someone as being a consultant when someone asks you to help them, no?
So
they
in a
really see
way, because sorry to interrupt, Christopher, because you did mention that they need to accumulate 1,000 hours and some testimony. So in order to get that, before we can get into this kind of like certification, do you mean that the one of the possible way is you start doing this pro bono, or
Yeah. That's why I tell Manfred, right? You want to get hired in digital marketing, you start helping your friends for free.
right.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that sounds like a viable route. At least 1,000 hours is not a lot. Is it a lot?
I think part-time 2-3 hours you should be able to achieve it.
Yeah.
No weekends for you though.
I mean, for a while,
Sure.
a couple
No
of
pain,
months or
no
even a
gain.
year. Yeah. Then you are able to tap into the, like being part of a certified consultant that you can start helping your clients and you get paid via grants. I think that's the total viable route to go. I totally agree with that. So, okay, now that at least gives you an idea if you are kind of like planning to, escape the corporate world and you want to start something on your own. The easiest way is, in fact, like self-employed, and you don't need to kind of like build a big company. If you want to, that's okay. But then again, you can actually be a consultant and be in control of your time.
You can go solo with this, right? Can you go
Totally.
solo with this?
I believe so.
Yeah, I've been solo for a good 4 to 5 years
There
before
you go.
I finally
There you go.
hired
All
guys
right.
to help out. Yeah.
So
See?
you have the experience. Why not?
Yep. So that's something, if you're considering, then you can follow the route. But then again, if you want to connect with Christopher, go over and check him out on LinkedIn. Now, I just want to quickly pop this question. This is something that is being arranged kind of like by Manfred. I think it's quite interesting. So in most cases, what will be the, like the return for being a consultant? What are the ways to be compensated except them like liters of coffee? Oh my goodness.
So there are generally the most common way would be man-hour rate. So you have a fixed rate of how much you get paid an hour, and when you do the work for the client as a consultant, you clock the hours, or you can project how much hours you think you need in order to get the work done. You're the expert, so you should be able to be quite accurate there. So then number of hours multiplied by man-hour rate would be your fees generally. Yeah.
I see.
That's the most common one. Others I've heard of is if for example you're hired to do project management to help as an independent third party to get certain software, hardware, equipment to be implemented properly, or even to help choose the right software and hardware for the client, then it could be a percentage of the entire project size. That's your fee. Yeah.
Is there a large community of certified consultants or business consultants in Singapore? I mean,
For
uncertified,
IMCS,
almost everybody. Certified?
Certified ones for IMCS, I think we have about nearly 400, but they cover various different business
Different
aspects.
niches and domain expertise.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that's not
yeah.
not too bad. There's still business for a lot of people. Okay.
And
Alright.
there is a fee for being certified, and it lasts for 3 years, after which you need to be recertified. So then the numbers are active practicing consultants.
I see.
Yeah. So it doesn't like grow dramatically over time.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so 3
Nice.
years to be recertified. Okay, I think that's reasonable, because for Facebook ads kind of thing, right?
Every year, right?
Every year, oh my goodness, like now one is due. I have to take it next month. Crazy.
Yeah, but then
Now-
again, Facebook changes almost every month.
I gave up chasing after the Google search because you're gonna take it every year, and it's a 70% passing rate, right?
Yeah.
Just pass
it's the
for a
same.
few years, just leave it first. When you feel like it, then just go and take it
Yeah.
again.
Just get
Yeah.
updated.
If you do it, then okay lah. If you don't, then that by all means, because it's not much changes in fact, if you ask me. But maybe Facebook is a bit kind of like shaky these days.
Very
because,
dynamic.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
Oh
are
yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, now thanks for the
nice.
sharing about how do you get compensated. Like guys, we still have about a while to go, about 10 odd minutes to go. If you have any questions, remember to pop in the chat. And I'm going to bring out the next question, which is like, this is really going into Christopher's experience already. So basically,
I want to hear this one.
this is very important. I think this is purposely planned by Manfred to really look into your experience. Like 5 years as a self-employed consultant, you did mention on top of whatever businesses that you're also running. But I think specifically on business consulting, what are the challenges or so-called the difficult problems that you have encountered?
Generally, at the start and at the end. At the start would be a lot of questions about, or they seek confidence in that they will get full grant support for a project, which is, depending on the project size, not likely. Because we've done 7-figure projects, $1 million projects as well. So for those, you're not going to get a full 80% of $1 million. It doesn't make sense. I was telling them that is $800,000. They can give $80,000 to 10 SMEs to help them. So then they will keep asking, and they will. They are hopeful that they will get full 80% support of everything. So then at the start, it's a lot of management on them that it's not likely. Then usually at the end, a few of the projects in the middle had that's where we really shine by accident, whereby the vendor is and the client is unhappy with each other because they miscommunicated deadlines or requirements. So we actually had to come in and arbitrate. And I mean, I've done it twice in the past 2 years already, and I found it quite interesting that I had to do it. But basically, they don't. Sometimes they do need a third-party independent person to come and help. So then you have to be very careful and tactful, and make sure that you understand the situation very clearly from both sides. And usually it's just a misunderstanding, but nonetheless, you want to make sure that both sides are happy as well. So that you can carry on with the project. If your project fails and you abandon it, right, you're not going to get grant support. So then whatever money you have paid so far is then written off.
Right.
Then at the end of it, right, generally is to collate all the requirements And for system-related projects, it's very straightforward because system is implemented. Here are all the screenshots and evidences of the system implemented along with whatever productivity gains there are. For marketing and branding, sometimes the clients are not happy with the results because they expect boom, sales, right?
Yeah.
So that one takes a lot of management throughout the whole process of making sure that they are not upset with you, that you didn't get them. That's why I was telling you guys, right? We're thinking of resurrecting the agency, but then we're just gonna do CPA only and not use grants, not use grant support for this kind of projects anymore. But yeah.
Okay.
So those are the issues that we have encountered so far. Thank God, not major issues.
But I guess as we understand from me, most of them are actually client expectation management angle, which is you need to make them understand the situation. Really
It's usually always a people problem, not a system process problem.
great.
Yeah.
Great. I think thanks for sharing. Okay, now before we go over to the next one, Chiwai has a question. This is a very interesting one. Okay, Chiwai, this question ignites Chiwai like Chris is like the Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen's nightmare to advise the business owner. So what if you get resistance from ground or the owner himself is unwilling to change their bad habits?
We do not take on projects if we do not get full support and agreement from the project owner, because he would be the project champion. And if he doesn't buy in and support this fully, then his guys will sense it and not help us at all. So we make sure we are very clear on this.
Right.
And yeah, if the owner is not fully supporting us to effect the change, then we will not go into the project.
What happens if he or she changes midway? I mean, initially, yes, everybody seems to be on the right path towards the right direction, but along the way, midway through also, certain methodologies that you recommended, and that the owner feels that it doesn't work.
Two things, we try and, as a consultant, first thing we do is try and get the lowest hanging fruits.
Okay.
Try and just get immediate gains over the most immediate problems that
the
they
quick
have.
wins.
The quick wins, so
Right.
then they buy in.
Okay.
On top of that, if they still don't and they change their mind halfway, right, we look for a quick exit strategy to be able to provide them with what they think is good enough and they're happy with, and then we leave. Because if the business owner changes their mind and they're not giving full support, then there is no will to effect change. Then they will not be the ones pushing their guys to make sure change gets done.
But this doesn't affect the grant process, right? I mean, it's just basically having additional reinforcement instead of skill set. So if halfway through that you guys decide to part ways, it doesn't affect the grant. Does it affect the grant?
If they were to implement an ERP solution,
Right.
halfway through they change their mind, which not usually not the case, so this is not the right.
Very rare, okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Right.
Then, if the solution gets implemented and doesn't get used, if these are grant supported projects, so one word of warning, the government may do audit on you years later, and if you have not proven that you are using the system regularly with login reports, screenshots, then they may claw back the project. So at the point of claiming the grant, not really a problem, but years later, if they found out that you're not using whatever equipment or solution that you got grant money for, they may claw back. And it has happened before, not to my clients, but I've heard of other
I see.
other consultants' clients.
I won't be surprised. Yeah, possible.
Meaning they will be asking the money back from you.
Yep.
Wow. I think that's fair. I mean, eventually that's what you're supposed to do, right? You get a grant, you're not supposed to just do whatever it is
You're supposed to
use.
make use of it to grow
That's
the
right.
business. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
True. Now, Chiwa has another question. He says no, but I don't know. So he said, how do you craft your charging model for your services? Wait, I think
Christopher got disconnected.
got
But,
disconnected.
yeah.
We wait for him to come back. So
I
your
think
services.
Chiwa is actually asking more in the project basis because.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I dropped off for a while.
No worries.
It's okay. It happens. Okay, so Chiwai's question is about how do you craft your charging model?
So what we do is we look at market rate of a person that can do it, but that is at salary, right? Then we generally will double to triple it, because there is opportunity losses if you don't. Basically 2 to 3 times of what the per hour rate of a actual staff in a company that will do what this job does.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
That's interesting.
Yep.
That's a very good angle, I
Oh.
think.
You
Basically.
can start, I mean, as a start, you can start to charge whatever you want that you think is fair. It can be at salary level, doesn't matter. When you reach a point where more people want you than you have time for, then you increase your price, supply demand, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very easy way to approach this thing. I totally agree.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Chiwai, for the question. And
So I hope you get the answer. Yeah. The
yeah,
answer
probably
will
Chiwai want to
satisfy
start
you.
business consulting already. I think like judging from the question.
He's already consulting people. He's not advertising. He's already consulting.
He's running an
He help
agency,
people.
but he
Huh?
probably want to get on top of his agency. Want to start doing business consulting. Maybe.
Maybe. Man.
Yeah. Okay. So if you guys want to start being you want to become a business consultant, you don't look for Chris. But if you are looking for business consultant, then you look for Chris. I want to bring down Chiwai's question hide from stream so
Right.
that I can pop this thing. Now, this is the link
Yes.
that you can go over and connect with Christopher on LinkedIn. And especially if you're running a business in Singapore and you need help getting grant. So far, our friend's success rate of helping his client getting grants is 100%. So, you can take advantage of the grant that is given to the SME by the government to grow your business. So I think that's a very useful situation that you should take advantage on, especially if you're running business in Singapore. Now, wait, let me see. What will be that? Let's say, I think this question is a good one to wrap this. Okay, so yeah, how do I know whether I've hired the correct consultant?
Ooh.
So before you hire them, look at their track record.
Okay.
Actually, that's how I hire staff. Look at their resume, ask them have they done anything remotely similar to what you want to hire them to do, be it the actual type of work and the industry. So if they tell you, they're very good at process improvement, but you're F&B and they are manufacturing, so maybe not, right? Or if you're considering, this is a live case that we're doing, you're considering moving to central kitchen, and on top of that, you want to automate your central kitchen, then find a consultant that actually has done it. And a partner consultant actually owns a central kitchen F&B. So then they will be the best person because they have done it and they got it working. So that is before you hire.
So generally, it's similar to hiring a staff. I guess it's still a people business, isn't it? A skill set based business.
Generally, there are people that you wish you could hire them as staff.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice.
Because they are in demand that they doesn't make sense for them to be beholden to a business permanently. But it can be contract, it can be 3-6 months, 12 months even.
Right.
That's all possible, sure.
So those I've seen some, they call it fractional CMO and all those things. It's similar to a business
part-time
consultant?
CMO, part-time
Part-time
CFO, yeah.
Right. Okay.
What such thing? That's very nice.
We have done a few, but yeah, partners. My business partners have advised new startups in the CMO role, but it's quite. It takes up quite a lot of time as well.
Right.
So So we aren't offering it at this point of time because it takes up too much time, and we don't know how to work out compensation. And the businesses are willing to give equity, but that means giving equity means you get profit share, but at the same time the responsibility grows. That means you have to commit a certain amount of time to the company as well.
Yeah, well, you're part of the company already.
You're part of it?
Yeah,
You're
so
getting
it's
into
kind of
it.
like a happy problem. So we're not sure how to get away, how to offer it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But,
again fractional CTO, CMO, and all those things. Yeah.
if it's a consultant that you already hired, then you need two things. One is your staff to feedback to you. Because if the consultant is working in the business and working with your staff, then competency aside, they have to work with your staff and not just come in like a bull in a china shop and mess things up, right? So that's one aspect. And the other aspect would be whatever they listed in the proposal, have them update you regularly to make sure that things are progressing. that they are uncovering things and they can give you insights about your business you didn't tell them, or insights that you didn't even know, that you corroborate that with your staff to confirm. That means they know no more about you than your business, know as much as you or more about you in your business, in the area that they are fixing, then you know that you got the right guy.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. That's totally insightful sharing. And we truly enjoyed the past 1 hour. It's already 11, guys. In
Oh,
case
time
you
flies,
didn't
huh?
know,
Yeah.
time
Time
flies,
flies, man.
man. We covered a lot of questions, and on top of that, we actually gotten a lot of insightful sharing from Christopher. It's truly one episode that is very useful for anyone who is looking for a consultant to help grow your business. But then again, before we go, we have a business
Website
website
of the week.
that
Yes,
Christopher recommended just now. Christopher, you want to walk us through? I'm going to pop this into the into the comment so that everybody can join
Yeah.
and take a look at that.
Okay.
Should
you
I
can-
share screen?
You can share your screen if you don't mind, and I'll be able to pop it in.
So we're going to do Asana, right? Are we going to talk about Asana?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Let me make
So-
sure I'm choosing the right screen.
Yeah, you
Here.
choose the right one. Hang on, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay.
So it's this
I'm bringing
company
it
with
to
the three peach dots, and it's the Yoga Asana. And what it is actually a project management tool that's online. If you have used Trello, basically this is Trello on steroids. If you haven't, you should consider it. And I run my businesses on Asana. So just to give you a taste of what it looks like, when you're logged in, we like to use this table format. Okay, and from here, it's project management, whereby you can create tasks. Okay, put task name there, click on it, centralize it. You can assign people to it. Okay, I'm giving myself stuff to do. It's due by Friday, and you can detail the description in it. What needs to be done, and then the chat within here at the bottom between the staff that you assign to and yourself will be kept within this task, so it's easy to find information.
Right.
On top of that, if the task is a bit bigger and then there are subtasks, you can create them as subtasks that you can assign to other people.
Wow.
Right? For the paid version, there is further project management of task dependency. I mean, subtask 1, 2, 3 must be done before subtask 4 can be done. But generally, I'm still using the free version, and we're very happy using it as is like that. Whether or not assign grace, which you asked me what's this. Right. And within here, you can capture a screenshot and just paste the screenshot in there directly. There we go.
Wow.
You can upload documents. So in this case, this is the comment, right? I just commented and it's there. There, that's the image.
Wow.
I can upload documents. So this is me clicking on the image to show the screenshot. And yep, I've uploaded a document. The documents can be up to 100 megabytes each.
That's
And
quite
there-
big already.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
there
big.
is no limit to the number of documents you can upload.
Wow.
The free version allows
free
you
version.
to run for 15 invites. So if you invite up to 15 people in your teams, like so. Yeah, so these are my members here, for example. So then you can have up to 15 invites.
Wow.
So essentially up to 15 team members.
Right.
Oh.
And so I have a few boards, right? Each of them is like a project, right? And they are, in essence, one board can run, for me anyway, I can run one whole company on one board. I must get, the teams must be in, they must buy in, and you've got to train them to make them know how to use it in
Right.
order for them to then use this effectively. We do not use emails in our companies internally. The emails are only for external clients and vendors. So all communication is within Asana and sometimes ad hoc on WhatsApp.
Do you use Slack or there's also Slack functions? I think there's Slack functions inside Asana as well, right?
What sort of function is that again?
Slack.
Slack-like function.
Yeah.
No, Slack is not productive. Not in my opinion. It's basically
I know, I tried it before,
IRC
it's like-
brought to the B2B world. So we use a combination of WhatsApp and Asana.
Okay.
And within WhatsApp, there are of course different groups there for different projects,
Right, right.
and it's good enough. And FYI, what you're looking at here actually is a playbook that we have created and documented on CRO, conversion rate optimization.
Wow.
So with the right consultant, if a customer were to ask us to help them do an audit across their online touch points, this is the ones that we will use. We will use this project, we'll make a copy, and then we will apply for this business.
Wow, that's powerful.
That's interesting.
That's very powerful. Wow, I think that's really worth a shot, as in like to go in and take a look if this really help your business. But then again, I like the idea where it's even on the free version you can do a lot of things. But Shiwai was saying the problem is his team is not disciplined enough to do that.
Change team.
I like that idea.
There you go.
No, if you're saying your team is not disciplined, it means that it is not in line with the culture you want your company to be in. The culture of your company can be your culture. Fine. You're the business owner. So
Right.
then have them adapt and follow your culture. And in the case of Asana, Kanban boards, they are productivity tools. They are as useful as how often you use them. If your team don't want to use them, warn them. And you should design your business process such that the Asana is part of it and critical. So then they have no choice to use it.
That's good advice from the business consultant himself.
There you go. Yeah.
Shiwai, free advice, pro bono. Don't
Yeah.
even need to pay anything. So really have to probably start looking into however you want
Better
to
tell
actually
your team it's my way or
Yeah,
the highway, man.
All right, guys, time flies. It's already 11:07. Thank you so much for joining us, and really thank you, Christopher,
Thanks a lot,
for
guys. Yeah.
joining us tonight and
Christopher.
sharing all these useful insights.
Yes.
And
Thanks
guys,
for
we
the
do this every
opportunity.
thank you so much. And guys, we do this every Wednesday night. Remember, next week we will have another guest coming in, and we're going to discuss another topic. But if you want to go back and watch some topics in the past that might be useful for you, just go over to my YouTube channel, or we are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and
Facebook
also
page.
on Facebook page as well, on my Facebook page. And of
Right.
course, you can go to find like Manfred's YouTube channel, and like of course another one would be like Andrew's LinkedIn profile, okay, which is also broadcasting this. Hosting the broadcast live.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions at all, you just pop, and we probably will bring back some of the guests to discuss more in depth on the topics. Like we know for sure, we might bring Christopher back because he talks about like so many businesses. Like I probably can have 10 episodes having him,
Yeah.
if he's willing. So I think that's something
Okay,
that we can
it's been
actually
fun.
look in.
Yeah.
I
Don't
think
mind coming back again. Yeah.
yeah, why not, right? So,
Yes.
all right, thank you so much, guys, and thank you, Christopher, again.
Christopher, thank you so
joining us.
much.
Thanks.
By the way, you
very
can
much. Thanks for the
you can
opportunity.
keep and join us at the backstage. And
Yeah, just don't do the exit first.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right, thanks, guys. Good night, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Good night.
Ciao.